All right, let's talk about the Dolphins' offensive day, which was a weird day, I think. There was definitely a decent amount of negatives early on. It got off to a slow start, but they were really able to pick things up at a certain point. So first, let's talk about, I want to bring up it all, so let's talk about the negatives early on. And to be honest, I thought the biggest negative was just they were playing the Jaguars secondary, which is a really good unit. And Jaguars in general, their whole defense, I thought played really well in this game. It was a good defense last year, and it's kind of picking up where it left off this year. You have Tyreek Hill with a one-on-one matchup down the field, so okay, easy situation, no worries. Tyreek Hill, he's going to easily win and get the touchdown, right? I mean, that's what happens when you leave Tyreek Hill one-on-one. Well, Tua takes a snap and is doing the right thing. He's going to just fire it up in Hill's direction. Absolutely what I would want him to do in this situation. Here's the issue is Tyreek Hill doesn't really appear to be that open. This is actually Jaron Jones who is, keeping up with Hill on this one, a third-round pick from just this past draft class. But as you see, it clearly has the speed to keep up with Tyreek Hill and is able to kind of nudge him out. I don't think this is a bad throw by Tua. I actually like that ball placement. I think if Tyreek was able to adjust to the ball, it probably is a completion. I just don't think he was able to do that. Like this one's another one where it's actually the very next play. It's going to be a 4th down and 8, and this is going to be Braxton Berrios running a route where he's going to be in motion going towards the top of the screen. Then he's going to cut towards sort of over the middle area. Usually you just start cutting in that direction. Usually not in motion when you run these routes, but of course the Dolphins like to change things up a little bit, like to try and fool opposing defenses if they can. That is the route that Tua is going to ultimately look towards. So, Tua takes a snap, he looks over, and right here, you can see that the player who is covering Berrios on this one definitely is giving up a decent amount of space. Here's the issue. This isn't like a cover 0, this is a cover 1 robber, meaning there's a safety who's coming in to cover that over the middle area. Tua, I think, puts this one on the money, gets it there quickly enough. Again, to me, this is good defense. I don't look at these plays and say, wow, Tua is struggling, or the offense is struggling. I look at these plays and say Jacksonville's doing very good. Heading over here, did I think that there were some negatives by the Dolphins offense early on when they were struggling to put points on the board? I did. I thought that there were some plays that they would probably like to have back. Again, if you missed the game, they only put points on the board on one of their first 7 possessions. That one was a touchdown, but still, that was kind of what the struggle was. And, it was stuff like this at times. Here, Tua's going to take the snap. He's going to be off balance, but this one is just a bit too far. That could have been a nice touchdown there. This one, you're going to see Tua again. Looks like the timing was just a bit off on that one. And this one, another one where he, is going to be a bit high. Again, that was a timing thing. I think if he thought Tyreek Hill was going to cut a little bit later is what I think was supposed to happen. They just looked a little off, right? Honestly, all these plays could have legitimately just been miscommunications, but these are the types of plays we're just used to seeing the Dolphins hit on, and they weren't hitting on early on in this game. When it comes to future games, I'm expecting them to hit on them, but in this game, they just didn't, kind of uncharacteristically so in my opinion, which is what got them in a bit of a hole. And even this play was not a great one, I thought, where it's a 3rd down and 16. So you're in a tough spot, but you're down 10 points with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. You're kind of okay, right? If you can just gain some yards, you're probably not going to get a touchdown here, but getting a field goal still certainly helps. Tua is going to take the snap, and as of right here, Trayvon Walker doing a really nice job of getting this bull rush on the right tackle for the Dolphins. This is a tough situation for Tua to be in, although I still don't love what Tua is going to do here. You see him kind of just run back and ends up getting tripped up by Walker. He was trying to get outside so he could have more time to throw. I think he was hopefully thinking 7 points were still on the table, and I do think there could have been something to get open had the block been made. Got to make that block there. And for Tua, I think you had to just throw the ball away in that scenario. Give your team a chance at the field goal. Bad break for the Dolphins. They end up having to punt. Still down 10 points. And that's when this next play would happen. This was the play. I'm sure many of you have already seen it, but I will show it anyway. It is a one-on-one matchup with Tyreek Hill yet again. This time running a deep route over the middle, not just the go route that we're used to seeing from Tyreek Hill, but still definitely one that he can win on. He can win on most routes, but let's see what happens. Tua is going to take the snap right here, and you're going to notice that, so Ronald Darby is the corner that Tua is going up against. There's like 3 yards of separation between him. The deep safety is now running over to try and see if he can get to Tua, get the Tyreek Hill, but still, it's not going to get there. And quite frankly, I know Tua had a miss or two earlier on in the game. He's not going to miss this one. But also, look at that ball placement from Tua. That's really underrated. I'm going to pause it right here, but really underrated, getting that perfect ball placement. And that's something I've noticed when I see Tua and Tyreek, is their chemistry that they have with each other. It seems like Tua always is putting the ball exactly where Tyreek Hill wants it, and Hill is never really having to slow down to get the ball. Or, if he is, he's slowing down in a way where he still can, get up to a top speed quickly in a way that helps out the yards after the catch stuff. Yards after the catch isn't just a receiver stat. It is a quarterback stat to some degree as well. But it's also a receiver stat, and we're going to see it here as we're all expecting Tyreek Hill to get knocked out of bounds right here. But he just blows by Cisco and Darby, the two defensive backs trying to tackle him, gets all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's just what makes this Dolphins team so dangerous, right? Jacksonville has done a great job all day at containing this team as much as they can. They've gotten a little lucky with a couple of breaks where the Dolphins being a bit off. Maybe it was due to the police incident happening before the game. But at any instance, something like this can happen. And that's just such a difficult thing to go up against. It really is. It's like a home run can happen if you blink, so you have to be so careful. Heading over here, so this was a man coverage concept. Just to set the stage now, Dolphins have gotten a field goal drive. They actually had kind of 2 field goal drives. One was a missed field goal. The other one was a made field goal. So the offense just kind of started clicking after that long play. And it really was Tua just doing the simple things, but good plays. And this one might have been one of his better plays of the game, even if it's not maybe the biggest highlight play. It's a man coverage concept. You see Jalen Waddle in a one-on-one matchup here. However, when it begins, you're going to see that, is this open? It's a little bit open, and it's Montrek Brown on Jalen Waddle. It's definitely a matchup advantage to the Dolphins, but it's not a wide open play. If this is going to be a completion, it's going to have to be a good throw and good catch. But this is a perfectly accurate football and a good catch by Jalen Waddle on top of it, and they're able to pick up a first down there. And again, it was just a lot of stuff like that as the game was kind of winding down, as they were able to start driving again. So I don't know if just the one Tyreek Hill play gave them all confidence or what, or maybe they just made some mistakes earlier and stopped making mistakes later on. But they were really able to kind of find their rhythm there and ultimately win the football game against the Jaguars. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the Dolphins offense, how it played, the positives and the negatives and all that. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.